Frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care
enough. Con su adiós, la luna se apagó, la luz murió en tu piel. No hay caracol ni culto para adivinación, ya no hay razón de ser. Entre tierra y dolor enterraste la flor de lo que es el buen querer. Y te aferra el amor a ese mundo interior, cual sombra de lo que fue, cómo vivir con él. Llegó la solución que aún no quieres ver. Ya no hay control, no hay dudas para tu sanación. La luz volvió a tu piel. Desentierra la flor.
All right, I'm getting caught up in the song. KBLA Talk 1580. The artist you hear right now in studio with me is Dayme Arocena. She is a native of Cuba, born in Havana. She's a singer, a composer, a choir director, and she is one of the most popular and talented of a new generation of Cuban musicians, approaching jazz, soul, and classical influences with her innate sense of rhythm. She released her second album called Cubafonia in early 2017. Well versed, obviously, in her country's musical traditions. And I can read this whole bio. It's long, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to let her tell us about herself. Dayme Arocena, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you in studio. I was listening to to your album last night over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, you know, we in the United States we like to put people in categories, in boxes. You belong on this chart or that chart or the other chart. You know, you're this or you're that or the other thing. So, how would you explain yourself to us?
I always say to people, unbox me.
Unbox me.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to understand. And I always say 30 didn't create music. So music is music, and we are trying to put genres and names and boxes on it. I'm just a musician. So what I do is to learn from everything, from everywhere, keep my mind really open to influences and culture, and I try to be honest with my songwriting. So also, I'm a musician, a singer, but I am composer. So when I get the inspiration, I try to be honest with it. I don't say, "Oh, this must be a jazz song." If it is not yeah, I'm not gonna push it into a genre to please specific ears or egos. I rather just keep it honest with every single song. I believe every song has a soul, and I respect that.
Every song has a soul. Each song has a soul of its own.
Yeah. There are songs that I love and I don't like the artist, but yeah, it's
That's
true.
hilarious.
But I like the song, so that's why I'm always open to songs, and I'm not crazy about artists specifically. I mean, there are people that I love so much, like Nina Simone and Sade Adu, right? But um, I'm not crazy fan of people. I'm crazy fan of songs.
Oh, you're wearing, what is that? What is that T-shirt? Is that Selena?
Selena Quintanilla.
That's hilarious because,
Yeah.
you're Cuban
Yeah.
and it's very distinct from Mexican music.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not at all the same.
But Selena made a great impact in my life because my parents discovered that I was crazy about music. So I will sing Selena's song when I was like 5 years old, and I will make it loud and proud. So my parents were like, "Whoa, this girl." My grandmother used to say that she needed to make a spiritual ceremony to Selena because I had her spirit like in my close to me all the time. My grandmother, she says Santera, and she was like, "Oh, I need to make a cleansing because Selena is possessing these girls." I love Selena so much, and yeah, I like to sometimes when I need inspiration, I wake up and I have a couple of Selena t-shirts. So I say, "Okay, you are walking down with me today."
So for those who are not in the YouTube chat at KBLA 1580, Dayme has on a Selena T-shirt with a massive cowrie shell collar over it, and her locks cascading down on her shoulders. So it's it's kind of it's a sort of a tribute to what you were saying about being open to different things.
Yes, especially I truly believe as Latinos, if you are if you are a Latino, if you're a Caribbean, at least culturally, you are a black descendant. Maybe you don't have it specifically in your blood, but you have it in the food you eat. You have it in the way you dance. You have it in the way you speak. So African descendancy is something that is not just a melanin thing for me. And I try to educate Latinos about it because there is there is not enough information about it. That costs us a lot to those who really are dark skinned. If people are not educated about how proud they should be as as people that received all of that information and all of that flavor. So then we don't understand each other and we fight each other instead seeing each other as family. So that's why I wear Selena with proudness, and I wear my shells and I wear my dreadlocks. So I'm a proud Latina, and I'm a proud African descendant Latina.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't seem that strange being Cuban. Maybe in California, people have, in other parts of the United States, people have a harder time getting their minds around that. But I think, Black and Latino tends to be, people think of it as very distinct and sometimes at odds, right?
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's the way society has been built up since we were colonized. That's the colonial mindset. But can you imagine the sofrito we eat? Like, where's that coming from? It's a lot. Just the way we speak Spanish. The way, I mean, it's not the Spanish from Spain. It's our own Spanish. It's true.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
I have, I call myself bilingual, but when I first started listening, especially Afro Cuban people, I was like, what is that even? I don't understand that. And then I realized it's just like trying to understand Black Americans speaking English. If you learned English out of a book,
yeah,
you're going to be lost.
We all have congas, bongos. It's like, do you understand where's that coming from? Like,
Yeah.
we are like a big drum. I believe each person is a drum, because drumming is something that we are all capable to do. Drumming is in your body, it's in your skin. It's sound that you make out of different parts of your body. So when you embrace that drumming, you will start feeling Africa there. So it's a complicated thing when you live in the world you live, but at least I do my work, which is talking about it, being loud about it, and trying to educate others about it.
You are a musician, you said, a composer, a singer. Do you talk to me about how your musical education was as a Cuban? Because, I think it's a really different orientation. Even Cubans that I know that live here have spoken to me on how it's almost like a Cubans that were born, raised, and trained in Cuba have an advantage because you guys are dedicated to the music.
Yeah,
you're not working, as a bartender during the day.
Yeah,
and
exactly. But at the same time, I mean, it has a lot of contrast.
Right, I'm sure.
The first big thing is to get into the school, because they just take like 20 kids a year.
Wow.
Per school. So there are a lot of talented people that don't get that opportunity, and when you don't get that opportunity, you don't have the right to be a musician. So that's the system we have there, right? Which is so weird, because you have to be aware, you have to know that you want to be a musician at the age of 8 or 10 years old. That's the maximum. You can't be older than that. And
so you have to get into that training by 10 years old at the latest. And if you haven't, you
are late.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's almost impossible for you to get into the school.
Right. You would have to be just doing it on your own, like as a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
That would not be your job.
Yeah, and on the other hand, if you know that you want to be a musician at the age of 8 or 9 or 10, lucky you if you get inside the school, because that's the next thing. So a lot of people notice that their kids are talented on music. Come on, we are Cubans. It's like we are the biggest island in the Caribbean. We got we got like 1 million African people. Like, we got so much music, right? But it's hard, because you apply for the school and there are thousands of kids, and they just pick 20 per school, and there is just like 4 schools. So 80 in total is really hard. But it means that when you get it inside the school, you are trained as a military. So you train music in a military way, with the Russian system. So you are not allowed to study and play Cuban music or Cuban genres. You play Tchaikovsky, and you play Rachmaninoff. That's what you play. And that's how you learn. And you get a lot of technique. Trust me, like pure technique. But sometimes, most of the times, many people that actually got the school and got graduated, they don't want to make music anymore. They break.
They drilled it out of you.
Yeah.
The classical drills and the what you're calling a military style training in the arts doesn't work for some artists.
Yeah, for many of us, trust me. And at the same time, I don't want to be rude about what I'm going to say, but we are, as I said before, Caribbean Black descendant, and then you are imposing white culture so hard. So you are not allowing us to play congas and to play salsa or to play cha-cha-cha or to play mambo. You are pushing us just to play music that is is far away from us. So that really makes an effect.
Did you go through that training yourself?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, and you didn't quit.
No, but
it didn't break the. It didn't make. Did it make you say, "I don't want to do this anymore"?
I was so. That's my mission in life. I was so clear about it.
You were ready to walk through fire. Your ancestors said.
My ancestors, the ones that are right up there and the ones that were with me when I was a kid. I was born in a house where we were 14 people in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. So, and I was born in the 90s when we were in Cuba. We had the special period, so it was like a biggest crisis in Cuba, and we will have electricity 1 hour a day, right? So my family will sing and dance every day. They didn't have money, they didn't have food, they didn't have electricity, but they had music, and they weren't musicians. So the way I grew up was in contrast with my training at the school. I was so lucky to get into the school, right? So I got the Bach skills and I got the Rachmaninoff skills, right? But at home, I was getting rumba every single day. And they were telling me, okay, what you sing is beautiful, but sing it here. You have to make it here.
The clave.
You have to be able to talk and make the clave at the same time. So that's... So... Trust me, my ancestors were there with me saying, like, you can't quit.
Wow. We're talking with Dayme Arocena. And, you know, if you have a question or conversation, you're welcome to join in 800-920-1580. For my Freedman Friday, folks, I'm not excluding you. You guys are always in the chat saying, please let me on the air. The only person who called today was Molly Bell. God bless her. Happy birthday, Molly Bell. She has the same birthday as Rosa Parks. Before I forget, I do want to say Rosa Parks' birthday celebration Sunday at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center is also a Get Out the Vote rally. You can bring your ballot. You can sign up. You can get all the information you need. And we're going to continue this conversation. What song should we hear right now?
Oh, we should listen to a song I wrote 10 years ago and finally it's come out. It's called American Boy. Let's see.
American Boy? Let's hear it. Dayme Arocena. There we go. Arocena.
Podía robar ese farol, incluso tomar su calor. Podía sanarme el dolor con la brisa del mar al balcón. Mi bien podía soñar y ponerle un principio al final. Inútil el farol porque tú al marchar robaste su luz. Se la entregó a un American Boy farola. Se la entregó a un American Boy farola. Se la entregó a un American Boy.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sam Andy Banks and Pat Prescott and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills, whoops, to muddy paw prints, to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer Wet Jet works fast too. Swiffer Wet Jet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer Wet Jet and just spray, push, all clean.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double-stacked taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double-stacked taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Me enamoras con tu luz, con lo dulce de tu voz, provocando un descontrol, desnudando esta pasión. Me seduce imaginar el vapor de tu humedad que me excita sin tocar, que atravesando el umbral
Dayme Arocena is my guest. Tell us what we're hearing. You can leave it up, Miles, a little bit.
That's a song that is called A Fuego Lento. It's like simmering food, but simmering yourself.
Yeah, right? A slow burn kind of thing. Yeah.
And I wrote it with Vicente Garcia, which is one of my favorite musicians of the whole Caribbean. Is someone that is like me, really open-minded to music and always combining folkloric sounds and genres and rhythms with more pop or contemporary sounds.
And you must do. It's interesting listening to the music. There is, obviously I hear stuff that here in the United States we'd call salsa or Afro Cuban music, and then I hear a lot of jazz. I hear some other hybrid things and influences. Not that I, pretend to be some great expert, but are you playing like a lot of jazz festivals? Are you doing, solo concerts? Like, where are you? How are you? I know you did a Tiny Desk. That's always super popular.
I'm coming from the jazz scene.
Yeah.
So this is the first album. Basically, we are releasing an album that is called Alchemy, which is coming out on February 23rd. But I'm coming from the jazz scene, and this is the first album that is less jazzy and more, it's more contemporary. Closer to pop, soul, but basically, as I said at the very beginning, every single day I enjoy more to be unboxed. So, but of course, I did the whole jazz circuit over 25 countries. So basically, like really into the jazz world and the jazz scene. Now I'm fighting to be seen outside of that bubble, which is just the jazz circuit, because I want to speak and send my message of self-love, being conscious about African descendancy and all of that to a bigger crowd. And unfortunately, sometimes when you say jazz, when you put the label of jazz, young kids, they are like, whoa, I don't want that. So I'd rather saying I'm a musician, listen to my music, and then you'll be like, oh, this is kind of jazzy, or this is kind of
Right. Even though you're on the younger end of a millennial, right? What
Oh,
we
yeah.
call millennials, you're on the younger end of that.
yeah.
But okay, so you want to maybe be able to sing to your peers sometimes.
Yeah, but honestly, when I was in my early 20s, I will be surrounded by over 50 years old people because the jazz scene is like that.
Right.
And and I got so much respect and love, support. So my jazz scene and my jazz people will be always with me in my heart and in my soul. But now that I'm 30, I feel closer to the younger crowd than when I was 22.
Right. Well, you were, still probably recovering from, or maybe even in the midst of the military style musical training, right?
Yeah.
So,
And in Cuba, the main point is to be a killer musician.
yeah.
All you need to be is perfect. So basically, it's a lot of competitivity. Like we need to prove ourselves, but also as a singer, it's harder because singers, they are not always considered musicians.
Right.
So as a singer and songwriter that really wanted to sing my songs, I needed to prove to everybody that I was a musician. So I needed to gain that respect, sing as a musician, not as a singer. So that's why in my early 20s, I was too focused to get that. And honestly, I think I got it. I got the respect of the jazz scene, not just in Cuba, but in a lot of places.
Hold that thought. We continue. We got a hard stop here for news, traffic, and sports. Dayme Arocena is my guest. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Donald Trump's former corporate CFO is in talks about a plea deal to spare him from perjury charges from things he said as a witness in the New York Trump Organization civil fraud trial. Ellen Weisselberg said he paid no attention to erroneous listings for the size of Trump's Fifth Avenue apartment. But a week later, Forbes published an article indicating Weisselberg was well aware of the error. In Washington State, Linwood Council member Josh Binder is running for Congress. The 24-year-old announced his bid for the District 2 seat in Washington Wednesday afternoon in front of Edmonds College. Binda believes the district is in desperate need of new leadership, a new voice, and innovative ideas. If elected, Binda would become the youngest black person ever elected to Congress. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org. Is this the time?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A surprising outcome for the Lakers last night in Boston. LeBron and Anthony Davis were on the bench in street clothes, but the Lakers won by 9. Austin Reeves had a game-high 32 points. The Lakers shot a season-high 52% from three-point range. Last night was the first time this season the Lakers played without their top two players. No word yet on when LeBron and AD will be back in the lineup. LeBron has a sore left ankle. AD has a sore hip and Achilles tendon. The Clippers are back in action today. They're at Detroit. 4 p.m. tip-off. A.D., Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George were selected as reserves for the Western Conference in the NBA All-Star Game. The game is February 18th in Indianapolis. USC's men's basketball team has lost 6 straight. They lost at home to Oregon last night. Bronny James had 6 points and 7 assists off the bench. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley. As the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show, Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Hey! Bailando soy pegado cuerpo a cuerpo, sin vitrina ni reloj, bailando solo tú y yo. Bailando soy pegado cuerpo a cuerpo, sin vitrina ni reloj, bailando solo tú y yo.
Y que la noche vigile lo que hacemos en la playa. Quédate un ratito más, por favor, no te vayas. Responda a tus acciones, no me paso la raya. Que las miradas hablan lo que los labios callan. Bailame, no seas como el sol que me deja cada noche. Bésame y actúa como si de otra vida me conoces.
Llegas deslumbrando con tu luz, tan sereno tú, derritiendo este temor.
Tell us what we're hearing. I'm smiling because you have so many different voices. Like, I could hear 4 of your songs from the album and think I was listening to 4 different women.
Oh my goodness, that's the most beautiful compliment you can give to me. Because my biggest influence is Nina Simone. And when I heard Nina Simone for the first time, I thought she was different people. Like different persons.
She kind of does have that too.
I heard I Put a Spell on You, and I heard in the same, I had this type of albums that you just born it in your house. So it didn't have any credits or anything. And it had a mix of different singers, right? So it had singers from Elis Regina to Celeste Mendoza, right? Like a lot of singers. So I will listen to I Put a Spell on You, and I was like, whoa, I don't know what's that, if it's a man, if it's a woman, I don't know. I just want to sing like her, like that person. That's what I said to myself. I was like 15. And then I heard I Love You, Porgy. And I was like, who is that person? I don't know if it's a man, if it's a woman, but I want to sing like that person. So next day, I saw a friend of mine who gave me that album, and I said to him, thank you so much for the gift. I loved it so much. And he said, which one you like it the most? And I said, hey, I liked it, this song and this song. I don't know who are these persons, but I love them so much. And when he said, it's the same person, I was like, okay, so I want to be like that person. I want to be like her. And yesterday I was thinking about Nina and how much she has been beside me, walking in my path, right? So it's a beautiful compliment. Now that you said that, makes me kind
good.
of
I'm glad. Yeah. So tell us what we just heard. What that song was. Which one of you was that?
That song is called Suave y Pegado. It's a featuring with reggaeton, urban, hip hop artist from Puerto Rico called Rafa Pavon. And it's my first experimentation with reggaeton, but it's a suave reggaeton. It's like a bossa nova, jazzy reggaeton.
Suave y pegado, it's called?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Soft and not so soft?
Suave, like soft and sticky. I don't know. No, it's like when you dance, it's expression when you dance suave y pegado, like close, like really close and slowly. So that's the vibe. When you listen to the song, you feel like you want to dance with someone, but it's not an aggressive dance or a lot of shaking and perreo. It's more like dancing suavecito, like pegadito, like close bodies, and suavecito and slowly.
You are going to be here in Los Angeles, where we're broadcasting right now at on Monday at the Bardot in Hollywood. It's I haven't been there, but it's a club I can see in Hollywood. Looks really nice. What can we expect?
Well, I'm gonna be performing a few songs of my brand new album, so you might get some sneak peeks.
The one that's not coming out till the end of the month.
It's not coming, until the end of the month, but I might perform a couple of songs that are not released yet. And I will perform the songs that are already released. So we already dropped a few tracks, like this one, Suave Pegao. We dropped A Fuego Lento, American Boy, Como Vivir Por Él. You already played all of them. So I'm going to perform all of those songs. I'm going to perform a few of my biggest tracks from my previous albums. And you are going to see me in the different stage presence. I have been identified as someone that always dress white, and I uh, I always defend a lot of the African descendants and the rituals and the way we
The traditions,
yeah,
yeah.
the traditions we have in Cuba. But with this album, the main goal is to talk about self love, and I broke so many issues that I had with myself with this project. It's been a project that I have been working for more than 2 years, almost 3 years. So it's not that I'll be naked, but I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable enough to be naked now.
Wow.
For example, in the in the music video of A Fuego Lento with Vicente Garcia, I felt not shame at all to get undressed in front of my team to record the video. So it's a crazy progress from the Dayme that I was to the Dayme that I am today. And it's coming from a beautiful place. It's coming from a place where I feel my skin, where I feel my soul connected to my body in a way that I never felt it before. And I want to share that with people because we have been trained and we have been told to hate ourselves and to hate our bodies. You grew up looking to you at the mirror and being uncomfortable all the time with who you are and judging your case. This is just a case, but it's a case that you have to love so much because it helps you to develop your life in the earth. So every single thing you are just makes you unique. And as a Black Latina woman, I have been told so many things.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that you're not sexy, you're not beautiful, you're not the woman that a man is gonna hold as her wife, especially if he's not a black man or things, many crazy things, which.
And for the record, Dayme is beautiful. Absolutely
more than
gorgeous.
that.
Just for the record.
But more than that in my spirit now.
Right, of course.
I feel like.
But you said you had like breakthroughs with stuff that you yourself were struggling with. Like like what?
I'm gonna put you an example.
Okay.
When I was 12 years old, how do you say this in a correct language, because my English is not that good to say. My breast, my breast.
Okay.
I was trying to find
not the slang, right?
Yeah, I was trying to find the right word. My breast was too big for my age. I was like 12 years old, and my breast will go all the way down to my almost my hips. So, Mama Africa, you understand what I mean? Like, it's really wide. Big, and that was hurting my back too. I was studying piano at the school, all of that, so I had to get a surgery for the reduction of my breast. But nobody educated me about why my body was like that, why I had that big breast, what my ancestors were telling me through that big breast. I'm not someone that eat a lot of food. I was born in Cuba, so I wasn't even allowed to eat a lot of food. But I was always a plus size girl. I always judge myself.
Plus size, yeah.
Why am I having this size? Nobody told me, hey, it's your genetic, it's your ancestors' gift to you. Embrace it, enjoy it, because when you dance, it looks different. Like, I needed a lot of information that I didn't have to grow up loving my body, not being ashamed of it. I was a girl that I will get across the street to not face people when I was walking.
Wow.
I was that uncomfortable and with my own body. So the journey I have made, like, I will I will walk more blocks to not pass through people sometimes.
Right, to avoid people, you'd go the long way.
Yeah.
So how did you, I mean,
How did
Well, you know,
I get here? I don't know.
Okay, good answer.
I know.
I know. So you'll tell us when we come forward.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be something. You said, because it sounds like you set out to intentionally get on a journey about self-love, and now it's reflected in this album that's coming out.
Yeah.
So we'll hear about that when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, you are now able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility up to 6% can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome. We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
La vida por ti fue solo vacío e infelicidad. Por ti cambié mi camino ignorando los motivos, violentando mi destino y mi verdad. Y al fin te atreves a pararte frente a mí, rogando regresar. Por ti no debo tal errores repetir. ¿Pa' qué tú estás? Dime la verdad, no me engañes más. ¿Pa' qué tú estás? Pa' que lo tuyo no me afecte. Dime la verdad, no me engañes más. ¿Pa' qué tú estás?
Dayme Arocena is our guest. You have performed with many different bands. You have been embraced, as you said, by the jazz establishment. Some of the greats have invited you into their space, celebrated your talent and your work. And what are we hearing right there?
We are listening to a song that is not released yet.
Woo-hoo.
So, yeah, it's called Por Ti. And it's a song about self-love for sure.
Yeah.
It's like saying to people that you already know is toxic and you don't need in your life. Don't come and bother me anymore. Like sometimes you get this toxicity. People don't understand that it was like it's the end. And people come back and what you have to say is like, ¿Pa' qué tú estás? It's like,
Yeah, what are
Yeah.
you doing here, dude? So you were going to tell us the secret for this level up in self-love that you've experienced yourself.
Yeah. Yes. I at the very beginning I said, oh, I don't know where's that coming from. I know where that's coming from, and that's coming from life experience.
Yeah.
Because they can tell you anything, but if you listen to your life experience, it is gonna teach you a different thing. For example, in my case, I felt and I thought that I was not sexy, not beautiful, nothing. But then I will meet people that will tell me, wow, how beautiful you are. And will make me look at myself again at the mirror, say, am I beautiful? So little things that I paid attention to. I paid attention to the way people will celebrate me, the way people will educate me about my own beauty. But I have to say that my life experience took me to many places in the world where beauty is seen in a different way too. Maybe if my life experience was all just Cuba, I'll never get what I got. So I got what I got because I got the opportunity to travel so much and see beauty in many ways. Open my spectrum about what a beautiful person is. So my main advice is please pay attention and listen to your life experience. People may say anything, but your life is teaching you, and you gotta learn. If you don't learn from life, life is gonna give you exactly the same issues again to face it again until you learn. So I'm not facing the same issues anymore because I'm facing new issues, but those issues I don't face them anymore.
New issues. That's if not, we'd be done. Then
yeah, exactly.
Then we could leave.
We can leave.
We leave the building.
Exactly.
Dayme Arocena. When we come forward, we'll get find out what we can find out about this new album. Get some final thoughts from her, and that's what's up. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes. I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And we got some music. We're talking with Dayme Arocena. Your performance is on the latest performance, I should say, is Monday at the Bardot in Hollywood. What a great opportunity to get a sneak preview of the new album that is dropping at the end of this month or closer to the end of this month. And certainly you have plenty of albums. I think for folks to hear the catalog of hits and the various styles that you have brought forth. But what do you want? I always feel like an hour goes by so fast here. What do you want us to know about you or your music that you don't want to leave here without saying?
I used to be someone that wanted to be invisible, and now I want everybody to see me.
Ah, I love that.
We have to walk our path, learn from it, and don't let anybody to make you invisible.
You talk about your ancestors a lot, and it's something that, we have in common. And you've been very out front about, as you said, the Cuban traditions, the Afro Cuban traditions. Why are the ancestors such an important part of that?
The most beautiful thing about my spirituality is that it's mixed race like me. It's Creole like me. It's Lukumi like me. It's nothing that I can say, it's coming exactly from this place or this place. It took from everywhere. So it gives me the opportunity now in the 21st century to go to a Muslim space and feel connected and take from that. Like, I'm open to anything because the way I was raised was like, we get inspiration, we get information, we learn from everything. Because that's the way we were built. That's why, for example, I always like to say, I'm not Yoruba and Lukumi. I am perro sato criollo mezclado.
A new world.
Yeah.
A new world African tradition. Well, you say from everywhere, but it's mostly.
It's mostly
Africa.
from Africa.
Yeah.
But for example, I have to have...
But different parts of Africa.
Yeah, and also I have to have things that are coming from Spain too, as Santera.
Yeah.
I have things coming from Spain. I have things coming from my indigenous traditions too.
Ooh, we can launch into a whole other show, and sadly it is time for Tavis. Not sadly, but sadly it's time for our conversation. And you can find her on Instagram, Dayme Arocena. You can find her on stage on Monday. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure.
Have a wonderful weekend. Until Monday, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Donald Trump's former corporate CFO is in talks about a plea deal to spare him from perjury charges from things